Have you ever thought maybe manifestation just isn't working for me? You've been visualizing, you've been scripting, you've been doing all the things, and maybe you've tried every single technique that you've come across, but your reality is staying the same. You don't see any shifts at all. What if the problem is not your technique? What if you have been measuring manifestation in the wrong way? I'm Elizabeth, and I have been practicing manifestation for over a decade. I rebuilt my life after divorce. I manifested my psychic abilities to the point where I was doing readings for people, vacations, cars, so many things. And I learned that the biggest breakthroughs, the biggest opportunities happen when you stop obsessing over whether or not it's working. In this video, I'm going to show you why you don't need to believe it's working, why nothing happening doesn't mean nothing is changing, and the shift that helps you stop chasing your manifestation and start allowing it to come into your life. So let's start here. Stop measuring your manifestation by your current reality. One of the biggest mistakes I see is people looking around at their lives, seeing what's showing up and saying, nothing's changing, it must not be working, and then they stop the process, or they try to find a new technique, or they switch everything up. Or maybe they get frustrated and just throw manifestation to the wayside. Here's the secret. Your current reality is not proof that it's not working. Your reality is showing you what is going on inside of you. It is a direct link to your subconscious beliefs, what you think is true, how you believe you should be treated, how the world works. And so your subconscious and the work we do in manifestation is changing those deep-seated beliefs. And as you shift, that's when things start to show up in your life. But it takes time. These are incremental. And there's a little bit of a delay that happens where you have done the work and your subconscious is changing, but it takes a little while for that to show up. The biggest myth I see is that people think you have to have 100% belief that you can have that manifestation. And that is not true. And I know it's not true because I have seen it over and over in my manifestations. When I was working on my psychic abilities, I had no ability to connect. I saw these psychics doing these readings and was amazed at how they knew things about people. And I really wanted it. And I started visualizing every day as I was falling asleep. Every time that I became aware of the present moment, I'd lock in and visualize. I was doing the work. And I really thought that how psychics got information was like seeing a ghost in front of them or hearing the voice of God with the information. And that is not how it works. But I didn't know that. And I didn't know that that was ever going to be a reality to me, because even though I heard that everybody is intuitive, I had no experience with it. So it was really hard for me to consciously believe that. And that whole time that I was manifesting and visualizing and doing all the things, I had that conscious belief, like this doubt that was just very hard for me to kick. And I never did. But I kept at it. And when opportunities came forward, I would say yes. And eventually this person reached out to me who was leading a free mediumship group, reached out, invited me to come, totally free. I went in, he explained how to do it and put me on the spot to do a reading for someone, to which I got my first intuitive hit. And I could not even believe that me, Elizabeth, was able to tap in and get this information and have it validated by the person. And at that point, I understood that that belief everybody talks about, that is not true. You don't need to believe it. You just keep walking the steps of your process. And even more important is manifestation is not about the technique. I used to go around YouTube and try to find every single technique, and I was doing this and doing that and trying this and trying that. And at the end of the day, it didn't matter about the technique. And I will say that if you are using multiple techniques and you are in that space, it's fine. The more of the techniques that you stack onto each other is more time that you are spending with your manifestation, with the thing that you want to have. And the more time you spend thinking about it, that's a good thing. But it's still not about the technique. And it's not even about something that you do. It's about becoming the version of you that already has what you want. And all the techniques that are out there help you become that person, which is why it works. And the most important part is being consistent. So when you're doubting and when you're not sure and when you're looking for other techniques, I want you to stick with your program. And if you want to know what my program is, it's called the Normal Method. It's free. I'll link it in the description below in the comments so you can grab your own copy. It's simple, it's easy, and it's a great starting point for you to remember to be consistent. So what do you do on the days that you feel like giving up? When you're discouraged, I want you to ask yourself, who am I becoming? And something that helped me, that might be a little controversial, when I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get this, is asking myself, what is the absolutely worst thing that can happen? And I go to those dark places in my head. I don't stay there long. But when I was going through the divorce and my ex was threatening to take my children from me, I would look at, what does that look like for me? Is it hard? Is it something that I want? No. But am I going to die? Are my kids not going to come around when they're adults? All of those things, I put it together. And most of the time, when you look at those worst case scenarios, it's not as bad as you think. And you stay there, you look at it, and then you come out and you snap in your visualization for what you want. But the trick is to help you consciously understand that even in the worst case, your worst day, the worst scenario, the worst life that you could have, it's not as bad as what that fear would suggest to you. So if you are tired of the constant doubting and manifestation, feeling like you have to jump from technique, that the techniques you're doing aren't working, that you're doing the techniques wrong, that you don't believe, that you're scared your manifestation isn't going to come, where I have lived for long, long periods of time in my life too. I hope that this helps you. If you found value, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel, to share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Download my free Normal Method. And I want you to remember, just because you can't see movement right now in your life doesn't mean nothing is happening. And if there's one thing I want you to remember after this video, it's this: manifestation was never about finding the perfect technique. It's about becoming the person who shows up even on the days that you doubt it. Those hard days, because your reality doesn't change the moment you believe it. It changes the moment you become that new version. If you haven't caught my video yet on the biggest manifestation mistake people make, you can catch that here. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll catch you next time.